Hello and welcome to part 2 of this color along in this beautiful book by Nikolett Delafraye, Colors of Autumn. And we're going to try to finish this page in this second part. I chose this page. This is actually part 1. And I printed it out on my own paper because this is an Amazon printed book and I don't like to work on that paper, so I took a copy of that image and we're going to try to finish this page. Okay, so what we did in part 1 was basing everything with soft pastels. We laid down a base of alcohol markers and we went on top of it with polychromos coloring pencils. Okay, so the thing I'm going to do right now, I think, is the leaves. I don't know exactly how I'm going to tackle the candles. I have a reference image to see how I can color them. I want white candles, but because it is a night scene, it's not going to be white. And the smoke, I'm not sure how we're going to do that, but I really want a smoke effect, so not just covering the lines with acrylic paint marker, so we will see. Okay, so I'm going to try to use all the colors we used in part 1 for the leaves as well, because I don't like to use a lot of coloring pencils, because when you're using the same pencils, it is going to make your page a lot more cohesive. Okay, so we're going to take the same pencils and I'm maybe going to add just one more color to the mix. We will see. Okay, so we're going to use black, again, the nougat again, not the mauve, it was the delft blue. We're going to use cadmium yellow, and I'm going to take, just to be sure, chrome green opaque 174. And I lost my blue coloring pencil. 1 second, maybe I just put it again in my pencil case. I'm working on 2 pages at the same time, so it's possible. Yes, in here, delft blue. I never work on 1 page at the same time, especially not when I'm doing a color along, because I can only film when it is a little bit quiet at home, or maybe in the evening when my son is asleep. So I have to do this in a couple of coloring sessions. Okay, so all the colors I am using, materials I'm using in this video, are going to be in the description box. I don't have affiliate links, so this is just information for you to see what I use in this video. Maybe you can already take everything out and just color along with me, whatever you prefer. Okay, we're going to start with the leaves. So as you saw in part 1, we did like different colors of the leaves. So we're going to keep the base, but I'm going to shade with the same pencil. So it's going to give you different effects, but it's easy to color. Okay, so we're going to start off with the delft blue. I'm not prepared, I had to sharpen my coloring pencils in advance. I'm never prepared when I'm doing a color along. I'm a very chaotic colorist. Okay, so I'm starting off with the delft blue. So I'm going to start with the 2 leaves here at the top. Okay, so the light source is coming from the left, so the darkest parts are going to be on the right. So I'm going to color the right side of the leaf. This is just a light pressure. Polychromos is an oil-based pencil, so that means that you can layer them. If you're pressing too hard to start, you're going to dent the paper and you're not going to be able to add some layering. So just try to take a medium pressure or a soft pressure. It's always handy when you take the pencil in the middle of the barrel. The further you take it, the less pressure you can put on your pencil. So mostly when I am doing my first layer, I take it in the middle. And when I want to blend everything together, I'm taking it more at the start of the pencil. Okay, so I'm going to do the 2 leaves at the same time. The other leaves don't have a light source, so I am going to do that a little bit in a speed coloring, but I will show you 1 leaf so you know what I'm doing. So the video is not going to take me 3 hours. Okay, then we're going to take the nougat. If everything works well, all the colors are on the screen as well. I just broke my pencil. Perfect. Very professional. Okay. The polychromos pencils actually never break. I never have a pencil that is broken on the inside. Mostly when it breaks, it's my own fault. I drop my pencils a lot. This is a very round barrel, so they roll off my desk quite frequently. Okay, and then we're going to take the brown. And we're going to put it over the blue. So I'm going to take it over the delft blue into the green. So because this is a layering pencil, you're going to pick up 2 colors at the same time. You're not going to blend them. It's just going to mix your colors. So that's the reason why I really like polychromos pencils. But I know they take a lot of time for blending, so that's the reason why I always base my images. I never start with just a white paper. I saw some people color on tanned paper, but I haven't found any tanned paper here in Belgium that is suitable for a laser jet printer. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to leave me a comment. Okay, then we're going to take the green. So it was the chromium green opaque. And this is just because we have a green leaf and we have to blend it into the yellow. Just a very light pressure. I'm barely touching my page, so okay. And then we're going to take our yellow and we're going to emphasize our light source a little bit. my first color along. It was so hard to keep my page in frame, but now I have like a desk mat. It is a little bit easier to see where I have to put my page. And I think I stayed in frame in part 1. Okay, then we're going to take the black. We're going to make our darks very dark. I think this is my third or my fourth color along. There were a lot of subscribers that wanted me to do this in real time, so that's what I am going to do right now. Just some hints of speed coloring in between, but that's mostly with a lot of repetitive elements like the leaves on the bottom and maybe 2/3 of the pumpkin, but you can always slow down the speed of the video in the settings if you want it in real time. No problem. If you want to see me do the color alongs a little bit differently, maybe the angle of the camera or something, let me know. The color alongs are for you guys, not for me, because it is a lot harder to color on camera, because normally I rotate my book all the time, so now I have to keep it in the same position, and it's a challenge. Okay, so we went over the lines here with the yellow acrylic marker, but because the line stops very abruptly, I'm going to blend it in a little bit with the black, so the line is a little bit more blurry. You don't have to do this, but it's sometimes bugging me that you see where I stopped with the acrylic paint marker. Okay, like that. So this is, it's a little bit harder to see, but your darks have to be very dark and your lights have to be very light. Okay, and then we're going to color, I'm going to put it a little bit up. Okay, so these are the leaves in the bottom. We don't have any light effects on them, so they have to be pretty dark. I'm going to use the same colors again. So the 4 colors I used, I'm going to take away the green, so I think this is going to distract. I like to color with 4 pencils maximum. Okay, so I'm going to do just 1 leaf, so you know what I'm going to do. So mostly when I do the leaves, I try to find a leaf with a vein in the middle. So then I'm going to the light is coming from above, so the shadow is going to be on the bottom side of the leaf. So I am just going to put here a little bit of shadow. Over here as well. So this have to be very dark, so the blue can be quite dominant. Okay, then we're going to take our brown, go over the blue to mute it a little bit, keep the green of the alcohol marker you place down, like this. And then we're going to take our black and make our shadows very dark. Because the leaf is underneath the pumpkin, I am going to add some extra shadow over here. So this leaf is very, very dark. It's the furthest away from the light source. Like this. So that's actually what I'm going to do for all the rest of the leaves. So everything has like just one vein in the middle. This is the only one that doesn't have that. So what I'm going to do with this leaf is just coloring from the middle to up to the left side and to the right side. I think all the rest is going to be very easy. Okay, so I will color everything with you in speed coloring, so without talking, and then I will be back with you when we are doing the candles. Okay, so this is our page so far. So as you've seen, I just color all the leaves with the same coloring pencils, and I was just basing with some shades of brown and green. So you don't have to figure out more than 5 or 6 color combinations for the leaves. This is actually a very easy trick, and I'm going to tilt the page a little bit because the glare of the pencils is taking away a lot of the darkest parts. As you see, this is what we have so far, and the leaves are different, but they are very cohesive. But it is all different because of the shades of green and brown we used for basing. Okay, so now we have to figure out how we are going to do the candle. So I'm going to search for a reference picture. What is a great tip for you guys, what I like to do, if I don't know how to color an object, I don't look for a picture that is realistic, so not a picture of a pumpkin, but I try to look on Pinterest like glowing candle cartoon. When you have a cartoon version, it is a more simpler version of the real life candle, of a realistic candle, and so you see where the highlights and the shadows have to be. So I'm going to do that for the candle. I'm going to put that picture on the screen, and I'm going to try to use it as a reference picture. You don't have to do it exactly the same, but it gives you like an idea with the dripping candle where the dark parts have to be and where the light parts have to be. So I'm going to look up a picture, and I will be right back with a reference picture in the left corner. Okay, you guys, I found a picture on Pinterest. I will put it on the screen so you see what my reference picture is going to be. And we're going to try to see where the shadows are and where the highlights are. So, the colors I'm going to use, again, the main color Delft blue. I'm going to use a warm gray 5. I'm going to use warm gray 3, and we're going to use the cadmium yellow. So I'm going to try to do it with those colors. I don't want black because we have a white candle, and I think black is going to be too dark for this purpose. Okay, I'm quite nervous about this. I have never colored a candle. Okay, yeah, a small candle, but not with all the dripping thingies. Okay, we're going to use the Delft blue, and as I see on my reference picture, what is going to be dark. Okay, so underneath the drips is dark, so I think this is going to be dark. Again, I am working with a very light pressure. Underneath this is going to be dark. This is the dripping of the candle as well, so maybe over here. It doesn't have to be realistic, but I just want to see where I have to place my shadows because I had no idea think maybe underneath this is going to be dark as well. For here. I think I'm going to shade these lines as well. I don't know what to do else with these, like this. Okay, so this candle is behind this candle, so I think this has to be dark as well. And now like this thingy. I think I'm just going to place a little bit of shadow over here. Like this. Okay, we will see. Then I'm going to take the dark gray. And I'm going over the blue. Just to tone it down a little bit. And this is going to be dark as well, like the dripping thingies. I really hope this is going to work. Okay. I think it's going to be like something like this. Then we're going to take the light gray and just a very light pressure and going over everything. Like this. And then we're going to take our yellow. We're going to emphasize our yellow areas. Okay, I think it's going to be a little bit like this. We're going to outline everything with a white gel pen, so we need actually a little bit color. But because we did the soft pastels, we don't have a lot of work. Like this, and then with the gray I'm going to soften up those edges again. But I think I'm going over everything with a white gel pen maybe, and then go over it with some yellow pencil, because I don't think my light sources are in the right place. Okay, so I am going to take a white gel pen, not a gel pen, an acrylic marker. I use the Posca pen. And I'm going to outline actually everything. Also the yellow we have done, I don't think the yellow is going to work very well. Okay, like this. And now I'm going to take my yellow pencil and I'm going to add some extra yellow on top of the Posca where my highlights are. So actually where I placed my white pencil, that's where I'm going over with the yellow. Okay, and all the rest I am going over with my gray coloring pencil, so it isn't extremely white. Like this. Okay, this looks like a candle, I hope. Okay, and then for the flame, the inside of the flame is always the darkest, so we are going to take our orange glaze we used for the pumpkin, and we're going to take some delft blue. I think it's going to be fun when there is a little hint of blue on the inside of the flame. So just over here, a little bit of blue. And then we're going over it with the orange glaze. Like a little bit on the inside. Then the cadmium yellow. And a little bit of the blue again. Okay, that looks fine. This is the candle. Very muted colors as well. Okay, so I am going to do the second candle the same way I did this one, without chatting, and then we're going to do the rest like the flames. I have an idea, no idea if it is going to work, but we will see. I will do the background and maybe a little bit of shading on the bottom. We will see. So I will zoom you guys in on the flame, on the candle, and we will see each other for the next part of the coloring page. Okay, so that's better. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just cover up the black lines. Nikolett has already given us okay, so we're covered up all the black lines. It is already very pretty like it is, but I want some extra glowing effect. So I am going to try something for the first time, and I am going to use these. So these are like a cheaper version of the Faber-Castell gelatos. So I cannot get my hands on the gelatos. So this is actually a little bit of a cheaper version I just bought on Amazon. And I am going to try to use the white one. So this is actually like a lipstick. It's a gel crayon, and you can use it dry, like you see here on the image, or you can use it with water. So if it doesn't work dry, I can always fix it with water. So that was the idea. If you don't have these, you can always use a white soft pastel for doing this, or maybe an oil pastel. Maybe that's something you can try. And otherwise you can use some white acrylic paint diluted with a little bit of water and add it to add the smoke effect. So you have a couple of options. But because it was a long time since I used these, that I actually wanted to try them. And I like to use them dry. So I use them a lot for backgrounds, because soft pastels are always very soft, and if you want a very colorful, vibrant background, these are actually very good. I never tried the white one. As you see, it's actually as good as new. So we're going to see how this works. I am also using this for blending purposes. If this doesn't work, I will use a little bit of water. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to try here in the yellow section, because if it doesn't work, it isn't going to be very obvious. I'm going to put it directly on the paper, and I'm just going to try to blend it out a little bit. I think it's going to work. Okay, we will see. So I just go over the lines. It's going to be much more visible on the blue. So I just want like a little bit of a smoky effect. The beauty about this medium is that you don't have to fixate it afterwards. I never had the feeling you had to do that. Okay, so now we're going to blend it in, and we will see what the result is going to be. I'm just going to try to do it very softly. So I think that's working. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to do that for the rest of the image, and I will do this in a little bit of a speed coloring, that you don't get bored of doing this for 10 minutes. And I will be back to you in a couple of seconds. Okay, so it's a very soft effect, but it's better than nothing. So this is actually quite good, I think. If you look it up close, it's blended very well into the soft pastels, even with the fixative. So yeah, happy with that. Okay, so what we're going to do, maybe here on the bottom of the page, I want to do a little bit of some shadow effects. I think I'm going to do that also with my soft gel crayons, maybe with a shade of maybe dark blue. I don't know if it's going to work, we will see. So this is like a dark blue. These have no numberings or color names on it, so I'm just going to try. So if I'm going underneath this, and then I go in with this cotton stick, if it's going to work. Yes, but it's too blue. Too blue. Okay, maybe we're going to do it with a dark gray. I am just experimenting over here. Okay, a dark gray. Maybe a little bit on top of that. Okay, the blue is very prominent, so we're going to work with that. We're going to take gray and blue. But I'm going just to do some hints of blue underneath the leaves. This is just like coloring with lipstick. It's very, very soft. And it's quite hard to control actually, but it's going to be fine. Okay, and then I'm going to use maybe a little bit of gray. I don't know if you hear it in the background, but my dog is snoring. I have a Chihuahua, but he makes a noise like it is a Labradoodle or something. Okay, I'm going to try to blend that. Okay, this is what we have so far. So I'm very happy with the background, actually. I'm very easy. The only thing I want to add is a little bit of not stars, but like splattering in the background, because yeah, soft pastels is not very smoothly. So to cover up a little bit of the staining, I just want to add some extra stars. So the easiest way, I think, to do that is to take sticky notes and just cover up the parts you don't want the stars to go on. So like the pumpkin, I want to avoid. You can use washi tape as well if you want, but this is quite an easy image, so I'm just going to cover up the parts I don't want my splattering. Okay, so this is actually it. All the rest, it really doesn't matter. Okay, and I'm going to avoid this side. So I'm going to take some sheets of paper. I'm going to put it after my page because I don't want the splattering on my desk mats, and then we will get started. Okay, so I covered up all the places of the image I don't want the splattering on. So masking fluid is something I use when I do a background with a lot of detailing, small spaces. But if I just want a splattering background and it is an easy object, I just do it like this. It's quite easy. I'm going to use the Winsor & Newton calligraphy ink. You can use the regular ink as well, but because this is very pigmented and very runny, it is easy for the splattering effect. So I think this is easier than doing it with some acrylic paint diluted with water. I think it isn't opaque enough to have a nice background. So you just have to shake it and just place it at the table. And I just take a small pencil. You can use a toothbrush, you can use whatever you have, like a fan brush or something. And I just dip it in the ink, and I'm just going to add some stars. I do it with a small brush because if you have a big brush, your splattering is going to be bigger. So depending on which effect you want to have, I just take my brush and I tap it with my finger. I think that's the easiest way, for me at least. I want quite a lot of splattering. So this is a technique you can use when you fluffed up your background and it's not very smooth, like with Neocolor 2s or something. Just splatter it with some ink or metallic paint, regular paint, and it's going to cover up a lot, and I think it gives some interest to the page. Okay, so I think this is going to be it. I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to remove the post-its and I will show you the ending result in 1 second. Okay, so this is the ending result. This is my glowing pumpkin with the candles, a starry background, and a very easy way to do a night scene with some soft pastels. And this just took me like 3 hours, so very easy. So I'm actually very happy how this turned out. I think the starry background gives a nice touch, and the smoke effect isn't very smoky, but it's something. It's not just covering up the white lines, so I'm happy with that. So maybe in the future I will find another technique to do that, but I'm quite happy how this turned out. Okay, so if you followed this color along and you have posted it on Instagram or you have a YouTube channel, please tag me so I can see your finished pages. And if you have any further questions, please let me know in the comment section. All the materials I used will be not linked, but just written down in the description box, so you can see what I used in every video. So thank you for watching and have a lovely evening. Bye.